Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Disgusting, disgusting article by Fever Reporter. Yes, a Fever Reporter going after Caitlin Clark fans, talking about how nasty the Caitlin Clark fan base is. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Yes, Indiana Fever Reporter Scott Agness has decided that now would be the time, now that the Fever have won a few games, now would be the time to attack Caitlin Clark fans. While, of course, and I'm not even going to go through because some of them are really nasty, while, of course, other fan bases have been going after Aliyah Boston viciously, disgustingly, with a whole lot of racial vitriol. But that apparently is okay, according to Scott in his article about the Indiana Fever and how they are playing. Well, now, one thing he did do, he did unite the fans as well. As I'll scroll through some comments for you to show you, because there is nobody who liked his article, and he is quickly trying to backtrack and explain his way out of this disgusting thing that he put in his article, which we will get to in a second. By the way, that wonderful Carolyn Peck, who, for those of you who don't know, I believe was Stephanie White's college coach. Oh man, I'm blanking out. Or she was part of Stephanie White's staff. No, I think she was Stephanie White's college coach, if I'm not mistaken. Let me know if I'm wrong about that in the comments below. But they had a very good relationship going way, way back. And Carolyn Peck, of course, is out there again talking about how the Indiana Fever are actually a more dangerous team without Caitlin Clark. Now, of course, this narrative is it's always a no-win situation for Caitlin Clark fans. They're winning games. They're winning games. So now the narrative, of course, they can say, well, they're a team now. They play together. They're much better without Caitlin Clark. Where, of course, if they were losing, then the fans, the Caitlin Clark fans, would get attacked for, even if no one was saying it and there was no evidence at all. We would all be hearing about how the Caitlin Clark fans are so nasty. They want the team to lose because Caitlin Clark is not playing. So let's get into this article. We're going to get right to the juicy bits. He starts talking about how they're playing well together and certain players have stepped up and blah, 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 which all true. But let's get to the stuff that I think many others, and I'm sure now you will be asking, why? Why is this in this article from the Indiana Fever Reporter, who, by the way, of course, I believe at the beginning of the season had his credentials revoked by the Indiana Pacers? Maybe they know something that we don't. But then again, like I keep saying to people, you haven't shown me any evidence that the Fever organization is any different from anyone else regarding the WNBA and their treatment of Caitlin Clark. Amber, old school WNBA. Kelly, old school WNBA. Stephanie White, old school WNBA. So this may be part of the Fever, like, you know what? A lot of this may have gone too far. Caitlin Clark's not going to stick around. Maybe, and I think shout out to Mick and Mick Talks Hoops. He mentioned this as well, that they might be like a Dallas situation. They're getting ready to trade Caitlin Clark, and they're sort of planting the seeds about how the team is going to be better off. So let's scroll down here. I'm going to get to the juicy stuff, and something that they still don't understand, and this is wild that he would put this in there. Okay, they are America's team. No, they aren't. They just happen to have Caitlin Clark on their team. Because guess where this goes? It's their America's team, and then we're going to proceed to attack the only fans that they have, which are Caitlin Clark fans. They are America's team. However, there's also a lot of nastiness, almost entirely online, that comes along with that. Just read the comments, or don't actually. Now, you would think that sentence is actually setting up in defense of the Indiana Fever, right? Because when you're on the top of the mountain, when you're the goat at the top of the mountain, you are going to get all the arrows. You're going to get all the arrows. This is true in any sport. This is true in life in general. When you are successful, you become a target. It doesn't matter that you might have started at the bottom. It didn't matter that it was all about your own hard work. It didn't matter that you pulled yourself up from the bootstraps. And in the case of these players, it didn't matter that you worked at your game hours a day, every day for years. It doesn't matter. Once you're at that top, you are the target. So you think, okay, well, maybe this is about the other fan bases. And I would even say there's nothing wrong with the other fan bases in the realm of sports going after. Just like when America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, way, way, way back centuries ago, when they were actually winning games, they were a huge target because they were winning games and people actually called them America's team. So they got a lot of it. But no, no, no. This sentence is not actually about other fan bases. Yeah, shocking, isn't it? From a Fever reporter who may not be a Fever reporter much longer. I don't know. They're going to have to make a decision. Do we keep Scotty? Do we keep Agnes? Or do we keep Caitlin? It's something they dealt with last season and again this season. The reality is, those who are the loudest aren't Fever or basketball fans. They're only there for Clark. Yes, a lot of them will say that, yes, they are. But you're putting that as if it's a pejorative, Scotty, but it's not. But that dark side can easily seep into a team. So now we're getting into Star Wars, my friends. Caitlin Clark apparently is the Emperor, and her fans are Sith. Okay, they're Darth Maul, folks. This is absolutely wild. The Fever won't let that happen. Several members have gone off social media because of it, and it's an everyday challenge for them to keep the noise out. Same was true last season. So again, these are Caitlin Clark fans, and they are incredibly nasty, and they are forcing Caitlin Clark's teammates to go off social media. It's definitely different, White said, of coaching the Fever versus the Sun last season. Everything is highlighted. Obviously, much more speculation about things that people don't know about. Much more, I guess, activity from the outside. Now, before she continues, guess what, Stephanie? There are more fans paying attention to the Fever. And when dumb fools like yourself get involved with all this Dewana Bonner crap that we had to put up with when we were being guilted into feeling sorry for her because we kept hearing it was personal reasons, and people are wondering if maybe there's a family member that's sick and they're wishing her well and hoping and giving her good vibes and prayers and thoughts and all of that. And then what it was this is nasty collusion that may involve you as well, in which Dewana Bonner was never going to be part of the Indiana Fever. This was all about getting money and then going to Phoenix. Yes, when you string people along and you don't give them information about a situation like that, they're going to speculate. That is called normal human behavior. Most certainly normal fan behavior when crap like that is going on with one of their most prized free agents and most highly paid free agents, and yet we continue. And so it creates more of a challenge to try to filter through that and make sure that we keep what happens inside our building, inside our locker room, to those areas. You mean the stuff that leaks out after games when you never, ever, when she was playing, never, ever praise Caitlin Clark, but you go over the top to praise other players? Is that what you're talking about? And really try to silence the noise as much as possible and try to keep the main thing, and focus on just being a better basketball team. They have done just that and have been rewarded. I've had several fans reach out expressing how they feel like Clark is being forgotten or ignored. That couldn't be further from the truth. When a player is injured, the focus is on her well-being and her rehab. She is around every day and involved, just not on the court like we'd all like to see. Blah, 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 blah. So there you go. There you go with Scott, a so-called Fever reporter. I mean, this doesn't even have to be in the article. Like, do you realize that this doesn't have to be in the article at all? It's completely irrelevant to the Fever coming together and playing good basketball as a team. But Scotty had to put it in there. We don't know why. Huge fan for Caitlin Clark, right? I mean, District 22 FC Twitter handle. Why don't you guys ever address the hate towards Clark, Boston, and Sophie from other fan bases? It's extremely loud, and ignoring it to bash CC's fan base, who pays y'all bills, appears as if you're purposely downplaying Caitlin Clark. And this is just put up, so not a lot of comments here, but we'll go back to Scotty's. Cook, the person that received the most amount of hate and lies spread is Caitlin, but that's not important. Absolutely true. So let's take a look at Scott's original post. He started getting heat, so he started backtracking. The gist of the story is the Fever are hitting their stride following All-Star break. Despite a rocky start for several reasons, they're right there in the playoff race. Yeah, well, 8 of 13 teams make the playoffs, Scott. All good vibes, and to do it without the best player with a challenging schedule is even more impressive. Uh, okay, if that were true, everything I just read and talked about would not be in the article. It would not be in the article, and it certainly is not good vibes because, again, they're not America's team. They're Caitlin Clark's team and they're Caitlin Clark's fans. And you went out of your way in this article that's supposedly about good vibes and a team clicking to bash the only fans that the team has. She's going to New York. Can't stop it if you wanted to. Adam will use his 42% influence and force this down Herb's throat so hard he'll thank Adam when it's over. Yo, what the hell is your problem? So you come on here and basically harass Caitlin and bring more negativity. You're a whole ass weirdo. No wonder the Pacers banned you. Shame on you. So all that nastiness toward AB this week was Clark fans? Nope. It was actually PBAR fans with CC Fever fans going to her defense. This is weird. Maybe it's not the dark side creeping into the locker room, but it's BS like this. Unfollow. You're a oh, yes, I like that one. That's one of my favorite. Y'all can hype up the team without alienating and talking down on Cece or her fans in this case. That's your franchise player, and y'all keep trying to make her the bad guy. Like, I hope the organization remembers that a lot of its relevance came because they happened to have the number one pick for Caitlin Clark. All of its relevance. Let's face it. This was a organization that hasn't seen a winning record in centuries and haven't had a sniff of the playoff in centuries. Was drawing 4,000 people a night, not 16, 17,000, also on the road. Wow, Scott, that is really something else. Dark side? Well, this was a choice. Because they beat Chicago and Dallas, we won't hear the end of it. I really do not understand why you guys do this. You can prop up the team without having to disrespect her, or in this case, her fans. Mind you, this past week, AB has been harassed and bullied continuously by checks notes, not Caitlin fans. Write an article about that. I respect you, but this article was a bit weird, Scott. You're almost fueling the dark side that you talk about. Really weird stuff to say in an article about how they're playing, and then it, mentions the part that I was just talking about. Absolutely disappointing when your teammates' family members talk crap about you, which is we know is happening with Kelsey Mitchell's family, with Natasha Howard's family, which means they know about it, they approve about it. I don't care what anyone says, they approve, or there's no way it would be out there. Caitlin doesn't even know it probably, and even if she does, she won't say a word. Just trade her, man. Trade Caitlin to New York and let the Fever back to reality. Yeah, because you're not America's team. Reality is going to hit hard, and it's going to hurt. This is disgusting and disrespectful article on CC fans that are here, loud or not, have paid lots of money to support this team. So if we are upset, we are bad fans that you don't care about. We're the ones that you build your brand on because we are loyal. Yeah, but Fever fans have done a lot of stuff. They buy jerseys of AB, they buy jerseys of Kelsey Mitchell, and on and on and on. They bought DeWanna Bonner jerseys, folks. And look, I'm just going to one more because she's got a two-parter. Because again, I could go on for a long time. That's how badly this article has backfired. Scott may not have a job. WTF? Why are you alienating a huge reason for the team's success and popularity? With you mean the dark side can seep into a team? Y'all better get this through y'all head. There is no America's team without Caitlin Clark. This is very disrespectful to Caitlin Clark and her fan base. Part 2. I'm not done yet. You also know us CC fans are still watching the team with CC being out. Hence the million viewership rating every game, especially those who live overseas who watch at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or earlier. Those people have some dedication. This wasn't cool at all. And we could go continuously, right? How about call out the family members of her teammates hating on your franchise player? Yes, I have not seen that. Where is that, by the way, Scott? Here, how about this? I'm calling you out, Scott Agness. You are the problem with the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark and the fan base because you do crap like this. This is a disgusting hit piece that you wrote. It has nothing to do with anything with the Fever. You are apparently okay with all the trash that Kelsey Mitchell's family has done. That's far worse than any typical sports fan booing or chasing people off social media with criticism. Actual family members saying the crap that they were saying, and you have nothing to say about it, you freaking coward. Resign, my friend. You do not belong here. This is not for you. The Pacers had it right. Time to go. I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out this video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.